Nothing wakes up your taste buds in the morning quite like a cold, refreshing glass of orange juice. Bright, fragrant, and bursting with energy. But that bottle waiting on the supermarket shelf has already traveled a long way. Millions of oranges move from vast groves to high-capacity extraction lines. Every day, Americans consume roughly 2 million gallons of orange juice, and somehow it remains available almost year-round, even after the harvest season has ended. So how do manufacturers maintain a steady supply? How do they preserve that familiar flavor? And how do they keep the juice fresh long enough to reach stores across the country? Today, we're stepping inside an industrial orange juice facility. The perfect glass of orange juice begins with the perfect climate. And in the United States, that story has long centered on Florida, America's orange-growing capital. Its subtropical weather, mild winters, and abundant rainfall once made the state's vast citrus groves the heart of the nation's orange juice industry. But behind that picture of abundance lies a difficult reality. America's orange industry is shrinking. During the 2024 to 2025 season, total U.S. orange production was projected to fall to just 2.46 million tons. That's nearly 8% below the previous year and the lowest level recorded since 1931. As domestic harvests decline, processing plants are becoming increasingly dependent on imports, and one country now plays a critical role. Brazil supplies nearly 90% of the orange juice imported into the United States. That position has made Brazil the backbone of the global supply chain and the world's leading exporter of orange juice. Once the oranges reach their ideal sweetness, harvest season begins. In many groves, the work is still done entirely by hand. Pickers move carefully between the trees with specialized canvas bags strapped across their chests. Each orange is pulled from the stem and placed inside. When fully loaded, one of these bags can weigh as much as 80 pounds. But the fruit is never dumped from above. Instead, workers open the bottom of the bag. The oranges slide gently into large collection bins positioned between the rows. On vast commercial groves, however, harvesting every orange by hand requires an enormous workforce. That is where mechanical harvesting systems come in. One of the most impressive is the continuous canopy shaker. As the machine moves slowly along each row, dozens of long, flexible rods reach deep into the tree canopy. The rods vibrate at high speed. That movement travels through the branches and shakes ripe oranges free in just seconds. On some machines, the fruit lands on catching frames beneath the trees. Conveyor belts then carry it into an onboard storage compartment. Once gathered, the fruit is transferred to a specialized grove vehicle commonly known as a goat. The goat travels through the narrow lanes between the trees. It carries the oranges to the edge of the grove, then raises its storage bin and unloads the fruit into a large open-top trailer called a gondola. Each gondola can hold around 45,000 pounds of oranges. That is more than 20 tons of raw fruit. Once the trailer is full, semi-trucks take over. From there, the oranges begin the next stage of their journey, the trip to the processing plant. When the oranges arrive at the processing plant, they do not go straight into the extractor. First, every shipment must pass inspection. Quality control technicians collect samples from each load. They examine the condition of the fruit, the amount of juice it contains, its sweetness, and its acidity. These measurements help the plant decide how each batch should be stored, scheduled, and blended during production. Once the shipment is approved, the truck moves into the unloading area. Here, the entire trailer is positioned on a massive hydraulic platform. The platform slowly lifts the front end into the air. Under the force of gravity, tens of thousands of pounds of oranges roll toward the rear doors. The fruit pours into a receiving hopper below. Within minutes, the entire trailer is empty. From there, the oranges travel along long conveyor belts toward the cleaning system. The process looks almost like an industrial car wash. The fruit rolls across hundreds of rotating nylon brushes. At the same time, warm water and a food-safe cleaning solution are sprayed across every surface. The water loosens dirt and residue. The brushes scrub away soil, dust, leaves, and other material carried in from the grove. Next, powerful jets of clean water rinse each orange thoroughly. This removes the cleaning solution, along with anything that has been lifted from the peel. Once washing is complete, the fruit passes through one final inspection. Workers stand alongside the conveyor and watch the oranges roll past. Any fruit that is rotten, badly cracked, severely damaged, or still too green is quickly removed from the line. Next, the oranges enter an automated sorting system. Hundreds of rollers spin continuously beneath the fruit. This keeps every orange rotating as it moves down the line. High-speed cameras and sensors can inspect the entire surface from every angle. The system then sorts the fruit by size and diameter. That step is critical. Each orange must be matched with the correct extraction cup for efficient juicing. In just seconds, thousands of oranges are separated into precise size groups, ready for extraction. Now comes the moment when these oranges are transformed into liquid gold. The sorted fruit moves into a specialized extraction machine. Instead of being crushed together, each orange drops into its own pair of extraction cups. The upper cup presses downward. Interlocking metal fingers close tightly around the fruit. At the same time, a circular blade cuts a small opening in the bottom of the orange. Pressure from above forces the juice, pulp, and inner flesh into a filtering tube below. The entire cycle takes only a few seconds. A single extractor can process up to 800 oranges every minute. At full scale, the facility can produce as much as 500,000 gallons of orange juice per day. The freshly extracted juice then travels through sealed pipes to the finishing system. Here, seeds, fibers, and excess pulp are removed. This gives the plant precise control over the final texture. High-quality pulp is not necessarily discarded. It can be recovered, processed, and blended back into the juice in carefully measured amounts. That is how manufacturers create options like some pulp and lots of pulp. From here, the juice takes one of two paths. It can become concentrated orange juice, or it can remain at its original strength. For concentrate, the juice enters an evaporation system. There, roughly 80% of its water is removed. What remains is a thick, intensely flavored mixture. It still contains most of the orange's natural sugars, acids, and aromatic compounds. The concentrate is then rapidly chilled and frozen solid. This creates the blocks of frozen orange juice concentrate commonly sold in supermarket freezer sections. Single-strength juice follows a very different route. The concentration stage is skipped entirely. It is heated to around 185 degrees Fahrenheit for just 15 to 30 seconds. Then it is immediately cooled to about 35 degrees. This brief heat treatment helps control microorganisms. It also deactivates enzymes that could cause separation or alter the juice's texture during storage. The juice is then transferred into massive sterile storage tanks. Inside, it is held at temperatures close to 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Under carefully controlled conditions, it can remain in storage for months. In some cases, it may be held for a year or even longer. This allows manufacturers to maintain a steady supply between harvest seasons. Before the juice reaches the bottling line, technicians collect samples from every batch. Those samples are sent to the laboratory. There, the juice is tested for Brix, acidity, color, pulp content, aroma, and flavor. Every measurement must fall within a precise range. Only then does the batch receive final approval. Now, the pulp removed earlier is ready to rejoin the juice. It is measured with precision, then gently blended back into the batch. By adjusting the amount, the plant can produce pulp-free, some pulp, or extra pulp varieties. Temperature, mixing speed, and pulp ratio are all tightly controlled. That ensures the same flavor and texture in every bottle, even across batches produced thousands of gallons apart. Now, the orange juice is ready for the final stage, bottling. Along a stainless steel production line, rows of empty bottles move continuously into the automated filling station. Multiple filling nozzles operate at the same time. Flow sensors or electronic scales measure the exact amount of juice entering each bottle. The moment the target volume is reached, the flow stops. The bottle then moves directly to the capping machine. In a fraction of a second, each cap is placed into position and tightened to a preset level. But the bottles are not finished yet. Before leaving the line, everyone must pass a final inspection. Automated systems check the fill level, cap alignment, and condition of the packaging. Approved bottles continue to the labeling station. Each one receives a label and a printed production code for traceability. The bottles are then grouped into cartons or multi-packs. They are wrapped for protection and sent to the palletizing area. Here, robotic arms lift each case and stack it in precise, even layers. The finished pallet is tightly wrapped to keep every bottle secure during transport. Finally, the pallets move into cold storage. From there, they are loaded onto temperature-controlled trucks. The cold chain is maintained throughout the journey to distribution centers and stores across the United States. And that is how millions of bottles of orange juice are produced every day. Thanks for joining us on this journey inside an orange juice processing plant. For more behind-the-scenes looks at how everyday products are made, like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. We'll see you in the next one.